Homeby versus Downville. It's the 3 League Season 7 playoff final, best of 5, Division 4. So, around the 1500s Elo range, maybe 1500s, 1600s. Solid players. This is how they pick their maps. For the best of 5 playoff, you pick one map first, then there's a ban, so you're guaranteed at least one of your home maps. First pick, Combi, Land Nomad. Should be an eventful one. Then Brazil for Downville. Could be looking at a potential water stalemate here. But it's, yeah, definitely the waterestest of maps. Just small island in the middle, rest is water, so it's like 70% water by the looks of it. Arena banned, water nomad banned, so even though that's probably a result of Downville picking Brazil as well, they obviously know their way around water play, so you want to limit their strengths in that regard. Colosseum for Combi seem to enjoy the more open land maps. Hideout for Downville, another not so open land map, And then banning Cape of Storms and Frontline, leaving us with Grambara as the first map. You see from the mini map here, we'll get back to that, but you basically want to chop through to the middle to get to like a Golden Pit-esque middle, but the terrain is cracked, but there's lots of gold to be taken in the middle and relics and whatnot. It's a relatively open land map. I mean, you could wall off the sides easily, but it still plays like an open-ish map, especially when you get to the middle. So you will want a Paladin Pocket Civilization. Koreans comes to mind. Not Koreans, Persians, I mean. Persians comes to mind, but that would work for the other open-ish maps as well. But it has to be either Persian's Pocket, no, Magyar's Pocket, Georgian's Pocket. For Combi, I think. Whereas for Downville, you could get away with Khmer. Gudjars would be a decent pocket. Huns, certainly as well. But then there's Franks as well, and maybe you want those cheaper Franks castles to assume the middle on a map like Grambara. Once you get through to the middle, you're going to want to secure that through your defensive fortifications. I think let's just hop into it. There will be some fast forwarding because I'm kind of pressured on time to get through all of these sets in the end. So here we have Slevin with the Saracens in the blue. So playing an Archer Civilization on flank here. See, there are only 2 lines of trees. So shouldn't take too long to get through to the middle. If that's your game plan, then you could of course wall aside. But as we approach the Imperial Age, of course, these trees aren't a barrier anymore. Then you'll just take into Onager or even Siege Onager and just cut the trees and you have an open entry into your opponent's space. But look at the middle here. It's so much gold in the middle. So we could actually count all of the gold on the map. With a double click here, it's 147,000 gold. Pretty ridiculous amounts. Shouldn't be needing trade for a good while. So this is kind of a golden pit-like map, except you need to chop through to get to the pit. And you need to get through 200 wood to get there. That's Saracens, and as may be expected, we have the Goth Father as the Franks pocket here. Choosing... I suppose a decent lumber camp spot, as long as you micromanage your lumberjacks to get, and lumberjills to get through the trees over here. But it's a thicker area. That's actually not... there's plenty of places with 2 and 2 trees here. Looked unbalanced for a moment, but yeah, I guess the Godfather wanted a more chunky woodline to work with. Irion with the Malay. Another good archer flag civilization because they go up more quickly. It's surprising that they would pick Malay here rather than on Brazil, which is a full water map. But could be some mind games at work here. Maybe Brazil is like a throwaway map for Downville, which is what DOD stands for. But it's also their home map, so yeah, it's peculiar, but we'll get back to that. So, laming could be an option here as well. The elephant isn't too far away. It spawns on this side, but now looks like red is going to go for the elephant. So that won't be grabbable anymore. Nova 92904 as the Chinese on flank here. Pretty much a go-to flank civilization for team games. Starting with 3 extra villagers. If you can keep that idle TC time as low as you can, you'll be looking at a villager advantage. However, due to the already increasing idle time of Nova, that villager advantage has been diminished. You do tech loom immediately as the Chinese though, so if the others tech loom before going into the feudal age, the Chinese have still have that 1 villager advantage at least in this case. In the pocket we have the Lord Daniel as the Persians. Great booming civilization these days. Also surprising again that they wouldn't consider Persians for the water map, as the Persian docks work faster as well. But that applies more to hybrids than land maps, I guess. Persians have had a replacement for the Paladin as a unique option, the Savar, which is slightly cheaper, but still pretty darn tanky against archers, fire, and whatnot. So kind of a budget Paladin for the Persians, if you will. You might see that in the late game for this one. Cyclops Tron as the Japanese in the orange here. Walling off the side already, doesn't want any rush surprises or other kind of things. Entering their base. Even committing 2 villagers to the cause, so that's a bit of a costly opening, but looks like it's the same plan for combi to the side. At the risk of losing a villager to Lion here. So, should keep them quite safe. Double palisades! We are not joking around here, are we? Don't want any unpleasant surprises coming in from the side. Already securing the borders for trade. Hey, they could start trading in feudal age with these walls. Anyway, so they probably want to have the main focus in the middle. In fact, almost through to the middle already. Once this tree has been chopped, there's free passage into the middle. While down one build going for an early feudal age here, Teal player already, the Malay player up at 20 population, which is early even for Malay. Let's see if they can somehow deny the walls over here. There are 2 villagers and 1 scout. More villagers moving forward. Damn it, they're not taking any chances here, are they? Could this backfire on Combi though? They're committing resources and villager time into walling, while being subject to quick feudal age aggression and Saracen's bonus for the archers for Team Dob. So, what's the villager? Which means that they will break through the palisades more quickly. That's probably why Combi are double palisade walling actually, because they don't want Saracen's archers to break through just like that. For the follow, Park Ita. Sorry about the rushed decision yesterday. But I'm glad I had your understanding for it. Let's see if Dob can do some proper damage here. They do have that extra bonus damage against buildings because of the Saracen's bonus, which applies to the whole team, so it applies to the Malay on the other side as well. For now, though, since fletching isn't in yet because of the super fast feudal time of Irion, the archers don't have fletching, so they'll won't necessarily reach her. Look at this kind of walling, though. No, a tower, perfect tower, honestly. Ranges in all directions here will make it really hard for the archers to break through. Might break through on the other side though. Market wall, look at these guys. They've handled this kind of pressure before. Probably actually going to go into some skirmishers here perhaps for the Japanese. Yeah. Not too commonly seen in team games, but when they're fighting from the other side of the walls like this, why not? It's not like your opponent's cavalry will reach you anyway. Oh, I feel blue and teal in this case. It's just so frustrating. Trying to get some early damage in and just running into walls. They could still drop through to the middle and find their way into the opponent's bases through the woodlands door, or just deny some wood access from the middle. So, you know, if they don't have any success here, Iron could just move over and find the woodlands, and these woodlands are so thin your archers will easily range them. And speaking of archers, we are through on the left hand side. Slevin is through to the Japanese base. Fletching is in. Can't say that about the Japanese skirmishers, although armor is on the way. And somehow Teal has kind of made it through as well. And I said that was a perfect tower, but it actually doesn't range these archers. Nova committing to another tower here. Yeah, they seem a bit stressed out at this point. Might not have expected this for Grambara, this kind of baguette rush. Archers opening from down one bill here. Definitely getting some value, using the starting scout here to focus down some Japanese skirmishes as well. And I feel like the archers need to focus the scout now. There we go. Taking advantage of the minimum range of the skirmishers so that when the archers stay close to the skirmishers can't really hit them. That's why Cyclops Tron is spreading out units here as well. Spending food on skirmishers though delays the Castle Age transition, so there's a good chance that Slaven will reach the Castle Age sooner than the Japanese player here because of that. 14 archers for Irion at this point, as Nova has gone into full defense mode. Did Nova buy stone for these? Yeah, definitely bought stone for those towers. That's costly AF. Oh, I like this. Slaven is moving into the middle. Is pushed. Cyclops Tron off wood. No lumberjacks for Cyclops Tron, which means fewer skirmishers, archers, whatever you want to make. Is definitely panicking a little bit here. What deal is this? 1500s-ish, let's see. This should show the... I might need to update this one, but let's have a look. Yeah, I need to update that. This is Season 7. So behind this aggression, the Godfather has gone more or less straight Castle Age here, and the base is still open on the left hand side. So the base of Cyclops Tron will keep getting pressured here. Lord Daniel also in the Castle Age made some knights here. That was the reason for the early wall-off, to secure the bases and probably make it more quickly to the Castle Age overall without needing to make Feudal Age armies. Kind of didn't work out the way Combi would have wanted to. But Nova has found its way towards the Castle Age as well. Managed to re-wall over here, another tower. Both towers protecting any aggression, against any aggression from that angle. Will it be enough though? It looks like Cyclops Tron is taking a serious beating on the flank side here now. And the early aggression of Dove is paying off a lot. They've killed 8 villagers. They've kept their town centers working behind all of this pressure as well, which means that they've established an economic advantage as a result. All of them on the way to the Imperial Castle Age, while still pressuring the opponents. Orange moving into the middle, but that blue is about to notice that. It's being joined by some of the teammates' cavalry as well. Oh, it's actually pulling the archers over again. These are probably going to die anyway, so kind of makes sense to omit them to limit the cavalry losses of your teammate. Orange is really struggling here. He's barely got any economy working at all. Range coming up for the player to replenish the archer numbers. Did lose all of the mass before entering Castle Age, something you don't really want to see happen. Lord Daniel has gone into boom mode here with the Persians. The town centers now work 15% faster since we're in the Castle Age. Also claiming some gold in the middle. A situation that Dove needs to scout and deal with at some point to keep their economic lead. They certainly have a military lead. But that could change. With Lord Daniel now finding a huge opening in the woodland of Dove over here, going to take out quite a few villagers here. That's 7 villagers killed by the Lord Daniel already, evening out the villager count to only a 7 villagers difference now, with all of the players now in the Castle Age. Military count, however, is a different question. We still have Dove kind of scaled their army advantage from the feudal age onwards, so they have basically 3 times the military size of Combi. So as long as they choose their fights wisely, they should be able to keep the lead they've established. Crossbow mass now going for Nova's base again, but Mangonel defense, 2 Mangonels. 1 Mangonel is one thing. You could probably manage to micromanage your crossbows to take down 1 Mangonel, but 2, that is increasingly difficult, of course. Godfather basically sending almost all of the cavalry home to chase the raiding party over here. Doesn't want to risk losing villagers' lives needlessly over here. All teams move to the middle. It's starting to look a lot more like golden pits now. That's a lot of green knights being distracted away here. That's 10 knights chasing down just a few weak knights from Lord Daniel. I wonder if that's worth it, just to limit the impact of the raids around here. Is he actually going to get away with that? There's armies all around this monk and nobody cares about this old man's business. Good spot over the Lord Daniel in the middle here, Dean lying, that second middle town center of the Godfather on the gold. Again, going to lose a few numbers, but gets away with a minimal amount of losses, and probably just task the villagers back with some army support to make sure that this town center goes up to secure further gold access. 4 relics from red, so made some serious efforts to claim the middle relics here for some added gold access. Might come in handy if you start losing the middle, but then again, if you lose the middle on a gold-centric map like this, your relic gold just won't be enough. Bombi still very much behind in military count. As far as economy goes, they're still keeping up. They're just like 10-15 villagers behind, which is an accomplishment given their early game choices and the pressure they faced. Dove, however, slowly creeping up the map. Oh! Hold on. Did he actually manage to snipe the castle foundation there? Let's see the stone count. 900 something stone. This is the Franks, so the castles are... what's the castle age? 15% cheaper? He got the foundation! Huge value for the mangonel. Wow. Great spot by Cyclops Son. That's the most value you'll see one mangonel get in a while. Unless you splatter a huge group of crossbows, that is. $71 million to 24 though, so Dove still... You know, they got their sides covered, maybe. It'd be useful to pull up some stone walls to the right hand side just to make sure you don't get any surprises to the east and west sides, but it's all about the middle now. That's where the continued gold access is. Your starting base only has two tiles of gold, which won't last you very long, so you need to get to the middle if you're going to keep fielding gold costing armies. Another attempt at the castle, now closer to the TC, doesn't want to take any chances as far as mangonel aggression goes. Imperial Age on the way for one of the combi players. Started producing True Canoe out of 2 castles. Generally speaking, good unit, good race unit against most kinds of melee units because they fire so quickly. They're not great against archers because of their reload time, but then again, like a lot of unique units where you have a huge mass of them, they're really tough to deal with. Castles popping up in the middle. Game certainly has stabilized for combi. They've still only got half the military, but they do have one player. I mean, it's actually a pity that Nova hasn't gone for the crossbow approach here. But let's assume if Nova had had like 30-40 crossbows now and got the Imperial Age advantage, some early arbalists, that could really change the game for combi here. But with the True Canoe, they're quite expensive to get to the elite upgrades, and you're still gonna get the usual archers upgrades. So it won't be nearly as much of a power spike as it would have been with a group of crossbows becoming arbalesters. Raids happening. Stonewalls to the sides, okay, for both flanks of combi. Not taking any chances on the sides, and smart move as well. They know they're up against the Saracens opponent here, so entering the Imperial Age, the Arbalesters will be dealing even more damage, right? So they'll be dealing more, taking out buildings more swiftly as well. This many layers of walls should keep any that kind of archer's aggression out though. As far as late game power goes, I feel like Combi has the better late game options for like Hussar raids and I mean, if it goes to Trash Wars, that is, it probably won't on a gold map like this. The flanks will still have stronger paladins. Because of their extra hit points. But then again, Persians will get to paladins earlier if they are in the Imperial Age at roughly the same time, and Cavalier already on the way for the Lord Daniel here. We could be seeing a combi comeback here. They managed to get to the Imperial Age slightly earlier than Dove overall, but Dove still twice the military, and they've got huge masses of crossbows to become Arbalists, while the Godfather is still feeling the Knights as well, but Cavalier just clicked, while Savar is already on the way for the Persians. Not that many cavalry units on the field for the Persians. But you can say the same thing about the Franks. It's just that the Franks are lagging behind in terms of upgrades here, but these Arbalists, that's a very important one for Dove at this point. They should be trading well against the Chukonu with the Arbalest because of their reload rate. It should be... yeah. Simply much faster or shorter time between attacks for the Arbalest. And there's only one player making Arbalesters for Combi, so the collected mass of Arbalists will always be larger for Dove for that reason. One castle goes down. It's interesting to see the KD ratio here for Dove, because yeah, Iron has pretty much a positive one, but these two teammates have lost more units than they've made, so it's impressive that they're able to keep that military lead they've done so the whole game. Just never let go of the early advantage they gained through the breaking through the walls on either side and raiding the opposing economies. Now just slowly pushing through the middle. The Savar upgrade is in, fully upgraded Savar, which is the Paladin replacement unit for the Persians. Let's see how the Cavaliers of the Franks trade against this. Paladin is on the way as well, but it won't kick in for another minute. Yeah, it's more consistent production for the Franks, and also when or if he doesn't have it already, if the Godfather gets Chivalry, the Cavalry will produce more quickly for the Franks, which is another advantage on top of their HP advantage. They are diving though, underneath Cast Fire against this group of Cavaliers. I think they want to diminish the Cavalier numbers before the Paladin upgrade kicks in. Now it is in. As you can see, the Savar 165 HP, Frank Paladin 192. Quite a difference. It's almost 30 hit points difference. Wait. So roughly similar stats. No, it's actually the... yeah, the attack stats are the same, but the Savar actually has better armor overall. So lower HP but more armor. Small raiding party here, just to shake things up a bit. Steven has done taken out quite a few villagers this game. But the main focus has to be the middle. This is where the gold is at. You want to push the opposing team off the gold so they can't make their precious expensive units. These guys could find some value in the back here. They actually have never been here, Dove, so far this game. Sees a farm. We'll find some villagers to snipe here. This would probably catch Lord Daniel off guard. Really needs to attend to that, although could afford losing some villagers at this point. Still going to be affecting the yellow players' economy. But maybe they're doing yellow a favor here, freeing up some army space for population space for army. Savars both left and right here, raiding several players at the same time, forcing a reaction at home base from Dob, who have tried to re-wall but not quite succeeded. It's still completely open on the Godfather's side, in between the woodlands here. Godfather losing. Quickly losing villagers to the raids here, and both pockets pumping out units like there's no tomorrow. So they're keeping consistent cavalry numbers on the field. But what's the resource situation like? Deceivingly low gold count for both pockets, but that's because they keep doing so many cavalry units. Dove gaining some terrain in the middle though. They're pushing the Japanese player away from the middle. Japanese player about to lose the gold access. It's a time to take into halberdiers though for Dove. They need something to clean up the raids. Yeah, Combi has definitely stabilized. They seem to be strong late game players. They are now matching the military numbers of Dove, and they've somehow managed to gain an equal lead as well, thanks to the raids of the Lord Daniel. Father now adding some light cav, doesn't seem to struggle for gold. Actually quite low on food now because of the constant raids on the farming economy at home base. So great pocket performance from the Lord Daniels, picking up the Savar units, just sending some stray Savar into the opponent's economy to keep their farming economy from running smoothly for consistent cavalry production. Attempt at the middle push with Rams and Arbalists here from Cyclops Troll. Not quite getting anywhere with the capped Rams. Siege Rams would be a better option, but Japanese don't really have access to that. Still plenty of gold in the middle for both sides. It's a huge middle area. Who has the advantage here? Looks like there's plenty more cavalry for Combi. Steven could probably wants the overfire from the castle, but could also take some elevation advantage to the side here. finds the choke point instead, but look at the Sabar numbers. The Persians are dominating here. It's twice the Sabar to Paladins here now, and here comes Cyclotron with the mass Arbalest as well. Doesn't really care that much about the castle fire into the armies at this point. Got some rams to soak some of that as well, so that Slevin might need to actually focus fire the units. Cap rams, 5 cap rams, should be dealing with this castle relatively quickly. Lim Combi are managing to get back from this. They had such a nice early game. And the sneak range hit back for Cyclopstron. That's going to be annoying. Suddenly there's some orange presence in the back here, and since Arbalest in... Oh, this would be so annoying, just one Arbalest on the woodline. Combi really turned this one around. Don't understand how they did that, but Dove had a serious advantage in military. I think with some better military coordination, maybe they would be able to close this one out, but they weren't able to deny Combi from assuming the middle and stabilizing, and then suddenly they get overwhelmed by the Savar, and yeah, Persians have a strong boom, to be fair, maybe even stronger than the Franks with the instant farm upgrades. But yeah, this map clearly about the middle for continued gold access, if you can somehow deny that. And if you don't protect your bases from raids through walling, like Combi have done, they basically eliminated the option of raids. I guess there's still passage here, but yeah, good performance. The first game here for Combi. Seemed like it could go either way. But Lord Daniel certainly showing some Persians' power here. They may have just spent their best pocket civilization for the first game, though. Super fast uptimes for Dove here. They did manage to break through the walls, did lose a lot of time and potential because of that early walling of Combi. But then again, sending 2, 3, 4 villagers to wall the sides in the early game is also a drain on Combi's economy, so it's still kind of value to push like that as well. It's the first game. Combi with the Persians, Japanese, Chinese. Dove with the Malay. Yeah, for sure. Yellow carried that one. For sure. Malay, Franks, and Saracens. Where are you? There we are. So that's the first neutral map check. We'll be probably going to Brazil next. Could be hideout as well, but let's assume Brazil. Would have to be pure naval civilizations here, like the Dravidians. Not a lot of them here, is it? Dravidians, Byzantines, Bengalis maybe would be the combination here. And then you had Combi, could use Koreans, Romans, decent naval civilization. And Portuguese, probably. We'll see. Let's get to see. Persian plus attack on archers was the different, yeah. Okay, game 2 is Land Nomad, so they've actually gone for their opponent's home map, which is also an option. I'll never understand why you would pick your opponent's potential best maps, but that would be game 2. Let's hop into it.
Bereite.
Spawning all the way on the edge of the map here. It's a nomad rule, so you're not allowed to attack before 3 minutes. That's why these villagers didn't suddenly start boxing. Godfather settling on the very edge of the map. I hate these TC positions for nomad, land nomad, or any nomad start on the edge of the map like this. I mean, you're begging to be walled in when you're placing yourself like this. So blue is over here, red, yellow is over here. If blue spots this somehow early enough, blue could just layer up some palisades, something, houses towards the edge here, and over here, and suddenly yellow has nothing to work with. No space, no nothing, maybe just a little bit of stone. Let's see how the game progresses though. Looks like Reaper is settling for a nice Gudjara's free boom in the southeast corner here. Also close to the edge of the map, but very far away from most of the other opponents. So this should be a fast castle, maybe just straight into a boom kind of an approach placement. You have Dega with the Vietnamese over here, which will reveal the opponent's town center positions, but it looks like the Godfather already has that scouted as well. But now, once the town centers have completed, the Vietnamese civilization bonus shows the location of the different opponent town centers. Godfather, finally playing a game with the Goths here. Yeah, exactly, Otter. This might be the first time I've seen the Godfather actually play Goths. So yeah, good call. Why Goths for land nomad? Among other things because the Goths carry more hunt and the hunt lasts longer as well, so they get lots of bonus food from collecting the hunt, while also taking out the boars more quickly, because they also, I believe, also deal more damage to huntables. Instant loom helps as well for long distance luring on land nomad. Lots of bonuses that are kind of relevant for buffs on land nomad. So Santo and Mascardo has gone for the Berbers here. Another good land nomad situation. Good free boom sim for sure, but this is not a free boom position. This is a get yourself walled in position. You're not gonna have any booming space if your base is sandwiched in between walls on either side here. Gray, we have Nova as the Armenians for land nomad. Is it because of the mule carts? Or why would you pick Armenians on land nomad? Someone enlighten me on that. It's peculiar to me. I guess the composite bowman, if you can get to a mass of that does do well against many things, but would be far from my first pick. We'll see how it goes for the Armenians. It's also a decent free boom position for the Armenians, to be honest. So if the Armenians, let's assume Armenians go for the unique unit, the composite bowman here. Goths can't really do anything about that like they usually could do against archers, because the composite bowman, what does it do? Ignores armor? I believe. Range unit that ignores armor. So it would just melt the Huskarls. Useless in imp, true as well. The Armenians don't scale well. Well, it is good to have Armenians against the Goths, as Otter says, the higher hit points champions, and the fact that you could start taking champion, or you could finish taking champion in the Castle Age, since Armenians have access to the upgrades in the 1H earlier in general. You don't get access to men-at-arms in Feudal Age, but you do can get access to the Longswordsman upgrade in the... No, you don't get access to Minotaurs in the Dark Age, I mean. But you do get access to Long Swordsmen in the Feudal Age and Two-Handed Swordsmen and Champions in the Castle Age. Right, for what is essentially kind of a flank position here for the Lord Daniel, it's the Romans. 5% faster working economy. Underrated economic bonus. Centurion, the unique unit, pretty beastly cavalry unit. Lots of new civilizations here that don't really know how we'll play out on this map. I hugely underestimated the number in close ones and somehow Boyar's Corp died to them. Wow. To the champs. Well, Romans get Scorpions with several bonuses applying to them, like ballistics, research effect Scorpions, for example. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't play the new civilizations nearly enough to remember all the details. Scorpions cost 60% less gold and benefit from ballistics. That's what it was. And the infantry receives double effect from defense upgrades. So again, another bonus that would be helpful against the Goths. Santo Mascardo going for the wall up here knows that yellow is relatively close. Looks like yellow is going to get away with not getting walled in here. Could still wall to the edge of the map like this or something to keep the base safe. Feudal Age is in, all ready for the Goths, so not a fast Castle Age approach here. I don't feel it's, or is it actually? No, it's a tower. It's a tower. Right on the Berbers player to delay the Berbers player from getting to a fast castle cavalry spam style approach. Actually gone to stone as well, so Santa and Bascardo could go for defensive towers here if need be. Don't think they need to. There's gold over here, arguably also exposed to towers aggression. But Godfather's really committing here. He's committing 8 villagers to place towers on either side of the base of Santo and Mascardo, who is going up at 26 population, which does suggest a fast castle age. But now that blue has been pushed off gold, there's not really enough gold to click up to the castle age here. Could sell zone, but that would eliminate the possibility of an early castle drop for the Berbers. So this aggression is all about buying time for your two teammates to stabilize their economies, and presumably at least the good Yaros player will go fast castle here, looking at the resource setup. Nova also opting for a straight castle age there. I have to say I like the overall position of Combi better, I think, because they've got some distance, but they're still closer to their teammate as compared to Reaper wins with the Gudjaros, who's further away. We will get the free boom though, so Gudjaros could really dominate here later if they get to free boom for long enough. Yeah, here comes the first defensive tower of Santo and Mascardo. So probably had some fast castle plans, but that's gone down the drain with the tower's aggression from the Goths, not supported by any Minotaurs or anything. One of the towers within TC range. F for that. Easier if you just check their Otter 1500s-ish. 14, 15, 16. Tower's aggression, basically the only kind of aggression we're seeing thus far. Getting some value for the Godfather, but then again, Santo and Moscardo has been able to flee further north and still has the farming economy working. They're both setting themselves back a bit by committing to an extended feudal age like this. But as long as Santo and Moscardo has stone access, should be able to keep the aggression from going too far. With the boom up north should be going uninterrupted for quite a while. Dega with a different approach. Triple ranges, Castle Age crossbows. Going to stay 1000 for a while here. Feels like that will set Dove back quite a bit now that there are two players on Combi booming away at 3 DCs, and they're far away from Archer's aggression to reach them, so the only realistic target here is taking out the Berbers, which admittedly does limit the mobility of Combi quite a bit, so there's that. Wait, Vietnamese cavalry archers, let's go! That changes things. Vietnamese archery range units have more hit points, 20% more hit points, so they do have the highest hit points cavalry archers in Castle Age, to my knowledge. Well, looks like the Godfather will make it to the Castle Age well ahead of the blue player. So Tower's aggression has had value. As Santo and Moscardo tries to re-wall. Also tries to batter down this defensive tower. Might not have much luck with that. How do you just hop through the walls like that? What? Eh? Oh, Sipai is Castle Age, okay. Never seen anyone take Sipai in Castle Age, but I guess that's an option then. Good reaction from Nova here, seeing the cavalry archers coming, and with relics inside the fortified church, the church fires away so at the moving units.
Yes, patrastem.
Yes. So cavalry archers haven't really found any value yet, but they bring some mobility to the field. They got splitting up the armies as well. Smart move. There's one cavalry archer scouting for expansion, trying to find the location of the others. Must know that Teal has to... they must know that Teal is around here somewhere, because they know it because of the Vietnamese bonus.
Yes.
Somehow, Santo and Moscardos made it to the Castle Age as well, but is lagging behind by 1 minute compared to the Godfather, who has been mining enough stone for one castle drop, which would be pretty much perfect around this area to deny the only gold pile I can see. Oh, never mind. Let's go that here. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Maybe even better. Janitors! Nice. And we have the Roman Scorpions entering the field. Probably a good response against the Cavalry Archers. Cheaper gold-wise by good margins. It's essentially Roman's replacement for having a pretty much a useless archer line. Yeah, archer line in the archery range. Sometimes Scardo still savage up in the corner, but finds some space for it easy further north. I don't even remember what Tully Hogue looked like, but I'm sure it can be viable on some maps, yeah, with Castlich, Sipai, Cavalry Archers. Sherivam Shah Riders entering the field out of 2 stables, just going right for the raids here for Reaper wins. Let's see how much value this can generate for DOV. Nearly full wall here for Combi down to the east side, but not walled enough to keep the raiding parties away. Not a strong unit though, they're just super fast and obviously efficient raiders for the same reason. In a way, it's almost like having hussars in the Castle Age, because they move so quickly and all things considered are relatively cheap, and they also dodge ranged projectiles, so pretty annoying unit to deal with. So Reaper applying the pressure, has 4,000 centers booming behind of this, almost 100 villagers at the 30-minute mark, not too shabby, as the Romans player is committing to infantry now. Realizes that it will be needing the pikeman line against incoming Shiribamsha and camel raids. Still only 2 kills found for the Cavalry Archer group. Reaper just going to town with the Shiribamsha riders, and as a response to the infantry counter from Lord Daniel, Reaper now has access to chakram throwers from the castle as well. Schools have entered the field. Berber's player going for janitors. No, Cavalry Archers, sorry. See how they deal with unupgraded Huskars. Five town centers for the Goths now. Looking scary for the continuing of the game to enter the Imperial Age. Goths have access to perfusion, 100% faster barracks producing. There's the forever annoyance of the Shiribamshas over here. And I don't think you'll be cleaning that up with janitors, I'm afraid. We are ahead to the Imperial Age. Teal is nearly there, so the forward cast of Reaper might not stay up for that long. But the Godfather also seems to have control over Santo and Bascardo in the corner here, so blue isn't really going to be contributing all that much to Combi's side. So there's the Imperial Age for the Lord Daniel, immediately queuing the Trebuchet as well. Burger's actually with more BL3 than the Golf player at this point, but Imperial Age coming for the Godfather. That's not going to happen anytime soon for Santo and Bascardo, which means it's going to be really hard to hold off the Goths on the left-hand side here, at least alone, because the Godfather will queue a couple of trebs, take out the castle, and suddenly Santo and Bascardo will need to make some other kind of unit composition, and there's not really that much economy to work with to change that to a cavalry approach, for example. I'm just diving in to take out the trebuchets. So speedy they can actually do that. Halberdiers for Nova. Let's also get the access to Halberdiers, but that's not quite there yet. So, Chakra Throwers added, but not nearly enough to deal with all of these Roman halberdiers, especially not with their... Wait, hold on. Where are the upgrades? Has Lord Daniel lost his blacksmith? No, it's there. He doesn't have any upgrades on the halberdiers. No attack, no defense. That's gonna backfire once Reaper gets a few more Chakram Throwers out. Imperial Age in for the Godfather. Giving Trebuchet, of course. And got a healthy chunk of Huskarls. So map control looking good for Dob here. They have plenty of town centers claiming the additional resources around the map, and they're slowly pushing in either direction here. Vietnamese cavalry archers with... No bloodlines, sorry. Looked like they had bloodlines, but ballistics it was. So you will want to get a stable app and get bloodlines for the cavalry archers as well to boost their hit points a little bit. And there we have it. Everyone except the Berbers player now in the Imperial Age. And who needs multiple traps when you have Huskarls with instantly, basically the equivalent of the arson, the Goths bonus against buildings. Let's see if Combi can come back from this like they did the previous game. They are down in both eco and military, but the military situation is close-ish. It's just that Santo and Bascardo is 1 age behind, and once this castle goes down, it's going to be almost defenseless against the army flood that the Godfather is bringing to the field. Looks like perfusion just kicked in as well. Super fast production, or maybe not. Maybe that's just the Imperial Age Goths with conscription. Perfusion is almost instant, so... Goths unique technology boosting the barracks production by 100%. Only 8 military for blue, placing another castle up to the corner here, more so to buy time than to actually be able to defend anything, because the trebuchets are already out. Cavalry are just spotting it too late, but will trade some villagers regardless of that. Armenians now obviously teched into the 200 swordsman soon to be champion line. So it means to lead with the Goths spam, of course. What can the Romans do here? They don't really have any obvious response to this unit composition. Centurions maybe to dive in and get... No, not really, because there's the camels with the Gudars as well. What can the Romans do here? I mean, they still have cheaper Scorpions and upgrades corresponding to that, but on their own, this is really hard for the Romans to deal with, or any civilization to deal with this late game composition of the Gudars. Camels counter cavalry, Chakrams counter infantry, and the siege weapons deal with the defensive fortifications. The GG is understandably called, as blue players is more or less out of the game at this point. Horrible starting position for the both of them, but the Godfather made the best of it, and just now completed perfusion as well for even faster barracks production. Dove picking off one game there. 1-1 for this best of 5. Yeah, and it is, yeah, definitely better. I mean, these civs are better the later the game goes, right? Compared to the others. So, weird choices of combi, but they may still have something up their sleeve for the upcoming matches. Super fast fuel for the Goths there for the defensive towers. Beat Santa Mascarado by almost 3 minutes to the fuel age. Really hurts the blue player from the very get-go. That is Combi losing land nomad. Combi get to pick the next map. Maybe they'll pick one of down Bonville's home maps. Who knows? Romans, Armenians. Again, another sim that you'd expect to see on the water maps. And Burgers going down to the Vietnamese Gudars and Goths. Game 3 coming up. Now comes Brazil, so they're picking each other's home maps here. What's going on? Yes, let's just dive into it for some boating action. So this is the waterest of maps that you'll get, I think. Maybe except for Water Nomad, but that's a hybrid still, in a sense. There's basically endless amounts of deep fish here, like thousands, hundreds of thousands of fish. So, yeah, that's not going to run out anytime soon. You have small starting islands, and in return you get chunky woodlines to last you through that fighting. More golds and stones, because this is all about the boating and the naval fighting. Eventually, you could move into the middle and try to claim the relics and gold and small wood tiles here. You'll need to get there at some point, especially once the wood starts to run out. But it's not without risk, as there are some snow leopards here to eliminate any early landings in the middle with just a few villagers to claim some of the resources, I guess. Let's have a look at the civs. Dravidians for Slaven, no surprise there. Dravidians 200 wood granted once you reach the next age. They also have the unique ship in the Imperial Age, the Tiresadai. That is slow, but extremely tanky. I think it has like 250 hit points or something. Arsa calls them Jabba galleys. I think that's a brilliant name. Like a really fat galley. Reaper, gone with the Byzantines. Potential fast Imperial Age with the Byzantines because they have a 33% discount to the Imperial Age upgrade. Or is it 50 even? 50 it might be. It's cheaper, okay. Nah, it's 33% cheaper. And finally, Arion with the Bengalis. Bengalis ships heal when you pull them away from battle. Slow healing rate, but still. One huge reason to pick Bengalis for the water maps fighting. They obviously have a suitable tech tree for naval play as well, but that healing is huge, as you can just pull away from battle and heal up when there's downtime. Let's see for Combi. Santo and Moscato gone for the Italians over here. Lots of bonuses on water applying to the Italians. They have cheaper fishing ships. And they research technologies faster, I believe it was. Oh, Dock and University Technologies cost 33% less, that's it. So it's easier to get to the crucial upgrades for your ships. In the pocket position we have the Lord Daniel with the Vikings. Another strong naval civilization. Instantly gets wheelbarrow in the Castle Age and instantly gets handcart in the wheelbarrow in Feudal Age, handcart in Castle Age. Equivalent to 6 villagers training time. In addition to the economic benefits you get from having it instantly, of course. Longboats, unique unit on water. Powerful on any naval map. It's like a true canoe on a boat. Fires really quickly. And finally, Cyclops Tron with the Portuguese here. Extra hit points on the ships. Access to Feitorias in the Imperial Age, a huge thing here on this map where the resources are so limited except for the fish. And the team bonus is that technologies are researched 25% faster. Which again will help. It scales well with the Italians bonus as well, like cheaper technologies for the Italians, and then also 25% faster research with Portuguese. You should never let any any team get both Portuguese and Italians when there's a water map in the draft, but it is what it is. Let's speed this one up a bit, because we really aren't going to see any Dark Age action on these naval maps. Keep some eye on the fish, 3 or 4 fish, most common. Maybe in the pocket position you'll go for more, because you'll expect the flanks to hold on for you for a bit. Third dock coming up here once the Feudal Age kicked in for Santo and Moscardo, so now started to produce fire galleys. Goes for fire galleys rather than galleys on flank here. While the Lord Daniel is housed on the way up. But this looks to be like a fast castle approach from both pockets. Somewhat similar populations going up. A little bit of idle thesis time there because of housedness for the Lord Daniel, but otherwise somewhat similar. Probably going to click up once the... But he just kicked Feudal Age actually. It's a huge difference between the pockets then. It's not a fast imp from the Vikings, is it? That can't be. They have to do something here. Oh, Slaven is out with the Dravidians galleys over here. Going to go right for the fish. Going to get almost instant fletching as well because of the 200 wood bonus, but the fire galleys from both flanks of Combi will keep the galleys from taking out the fish for now. So I'm questioning the fire galley opening here, because on flank, on these maps, yeah, the distance is relatively close, but you could always hit and run with the galleys, and you would expect someone like the Dravidians to open the galleys like this. So the fire galleys just could never be allowed to get close. Also, galleys take out fishing ships, or fish ships in general, a lot faster. They have more bonus damage. It's just like playing archers on land flank, really. You want that ranged option. See how we're doing on the other side. Pretty even in numbers and economy thus far, which means that whichever team loses more fish will be at the disadvantage here. Dead even numbers, both with fletching. Quickly change plans from galleys into, no, fire galleys into galleys here for Santa Mascaro. Castle Age on the way for the business player, well ahead of the Vikings. But then again, Vikings, instant wheelbarrow, something you won't prioritize on these naval maps necessarily. So the Vikings will be bringing in a lot more resources. Slaven basically taking out all of the fish from the... Whoa, transport already? What? This isn't migration. Maybe Combi haven't really prepared for Brazil, huh? Could also be a misclick. But looks to me like we might have a short game here, Dove. Having the teal player entering the castle as well. Well, you could say that about the Italians as well. Oh, that is quite a few fire galleys. Going to turn the numbers quickly back into Combi's favor, perhaps here. Now gets away with some of them. Steven does take some losses though. Still with the positive KD overall. Right hand side, longboats are out for the Vikings player. But we also have the Byzantines fire ships, and with the cheaper Imperial Age you could get to fast fire ships earlier, which would be tankier against, at least against Castle Age longboats, and take them out quickly if they get close enough. Oh, Santo Emboscado losing the docks here to the fire galley fire of Reaper, at least almost does. Some coordinated effort here, but only the fire ships chasing now. Careening already in for the green player. An important tech, especially for the fire galleys to withstand more ranged fire. But longboats with Bodkin Arrow and their ease of micromanagement could still pretty much dominate here. resource count here almost looks like Reaper is thinking about that Imperial Age click, but then again, you lead those two buildings. I really think the fast fire ship is the key to gaining an advantage here for DOV. But then again, they need to keep massing their armies. There is no careening for Cyclopstron, that has not been researched, so the fierce armor of Orange's fire ships is not as high as it could be at this stage. Good micro from Slavel here, but the fire ships still catch up, getting value in as they move. Sometimes you also see players pulling one galley in front just to soak the fire of the ships ahead of them. Yeah, pretty even in military numbers here between blue and orange, but I think that the obedience player has more blocks, yeah. Transport ship from green now. And yellow made 2 transport ships as well. I don't understand if these are misclicks or if they actually intend to move into the middle and collect the relics and gold ASAP. Oh, I think Slaven needs to be more patient with massing of units now. Garrison the units inside, maybe commit to some demolition ships at this point. Vikings also hard to deal with here for Dove because one of your go-to units against the longboat would be the Portuguese caravels, and they also have Portuguese in their lineup, are really strong naval civilizations. Area left alone for the climb on the right hand side here could be bad news looking at the numbers. Bad engagement for Reaper wins. Still no careening for Orange, so the war galleys should be trading quite well against Cycloptron's armies here. Now entering the left hand side, the 2 vs 1 situation over here. Production a little bit of a concern for Slaven now, seems to struggle for... Well, it seems to struggle to produce really. Only 1 dock producing. Imperial Age on the way for the Byzantines, but it's also on the way for the Vikings, so we will be seeing elite longboats soon enough here for the yellow player. 4 town centers on land though. That seems excessive for such a small landmass. It also means that you'll have to have mined stone or bought stone for your town centers. Really even with an equal situation here. They're just mirroring each other in terms of economic analysis. I guess there's more fish for Dobbs, there's that, as they have an easier time bringing in food. Vikings now in the Imperial Age, as is the Byzantines. Arion just clicked, so the Bengalis on the way there as well. Where is that fast fire ship upgrade though? That needs to kick in ASAP for the Byzantines. Here we go. Pretty quick research as well, about 50 seconds only. And 5 docks now producing for the Byzantines. Trades well even before the upgrade, by the looks of it. Right hand side. Also some Oh, that one hit! On the galleys. Didn't take out a single one, so that was a bit underwhelming. Fast fire ships now in. It's something that Combi are missing until Cyclopstron or Santa and Moscardo can make it to the Imperial Age. They are far away from that Imperial Age transition, so they won't be getting fast fire ships anytime soon. Right now, this is Dobbs' game to lose, as they have another player approaching the Imperial Age as well. The military count is even, but the military strength is well in favor of Dobb at this point, with the fast fire ships increasing in mass, and the Bengalis players soon with access to galleons against what is still only longboats, not elite longboats for the Vikings. The docks will be going down now for Cyclopstron. It's going to make it tough to come back on what it tries to rebuild some docks in the back, but there's only a matter of time until Dove spot that happening. Ariel with the galleys over here replenishing the numbers at home, but it's twice the army size for the Vikings player. Red is also redocked in the back, but again still stuck in the Castle Age. While Dove has 2 players in the Imperial Age now. Galleon just around the corner, chemistry coming in as well. Reaper also researching Gloom, might suggest that the Reaper has plans to enter the middle soon. Fighting sportsman, how doth thou fare? Going good, thanks. What do I reply to that? I fare well. Castle coming up on land for the Vikings. That's a means to allow redocking, but they don't really get to start the construction process here. The galleys are denying this castle from. Look at that villager path. Is that a villager pathing causing issues? Why isn't this? What the hell was that? They're not even building. What? Oh, that's gonna be an expensive castle. Oh man. It will allow the Vikings to redock in front of this one. It does complete, but at what cost for Combi? Combi now down to half the military of Dobb. Yes, they have another player approaching the Imperial Age, and Cyclopstron desperately going to try to get to the middle because it's making several transport ships here, realizing that going to the middle, getting some gold and wood access there instead of what gets denied on the home island, and then maybe get the castle down in the middle and to start docking the middle instead could be a way back into the game. But that was a sight to behold, that castle placement there. Look how much fire the fast fire ships can tank. 38 out on the waters now for Dov. They have 73 build 3. Galleons much outnumbered by the still longboats, no elite longboat. Maybe that's not an upgrade you rush out. Imperial Age about to come in for Cyclops Strong. Fast fire ship should be coming in soon if affordable as well. No, might be a galleon. Galleon and Caravel switch. Or not, continuation here. Oh, ballistics just completed for the Vikings. That's also a huge one to miss at this stage in the game. Another castle in the back as well. Really wanting to preserve their resources on homeland here. There we go. First one to the middle. Dob claiming the middle area and will be collecting the relics as well for pretty useful gold trickle. Okay, what finishes first here? Town center or the castle? Oh no, and even the wildlife is against Cyclops Tron here. Oh, that town center is not going to last you for very long. I don't know if you like this castle all that much though. Yes, it ranges that easy, that's probably the idea, but if it's closer to the shoreline, you could also dock in the middle and use that to reinforce your armies as you go. Twice the military side for Dove now, so they have a 60 population lead, which is mainly military. Galleons with the appropriate upgrades, whereas the longboats still aren't elite. They did get ballistics, and they have chemistry as well, so they're only lacking the elite upgrade really. Racer obviously in as well. A crucial upgrade to have access to on water maps, especially if you're going for the late game. Italians gone for the fast fire ships now, but they are far away from being able to match the numbers of the green player. Drones being added by the Byzantines. It's a good substitute for cannon galleons, in many situations better, because they trade better against groups of ships on water as well. Middle town center for Cyclops Tron, not going to have any success. Two of the relics claimed from Teal so far. There's another landing from the Lord Daniel now in the middle, but yeah, we'll see if he has any more success than his teammates, but I doubt that will be the case. Dromos, outrange castles, they have 12 range, but they're obviously weak to ranged fire like the longboats. Elite cannon galleons have been added as well, so the Vikings player going to lose their castles, trying for a castle in the middle. That's also not going to stay up long with the Dromones and cannon galleons on the field currently. There's just no way back here for Combi. Dove taking the 2-1. And with potential match point for the next game. With one home map for each team played. Vikings with the most kills here, maybe unsurprisingly with the fast firing longboats. All things considered, economy is very similar here. But Dove just took the better fights and had the smoother way towards the Imperial Age and fast fire ships. Actually, the Vikings got there earlier, but didn't really... was very late to ballistics and never got to elite longboat. So didn't get full advantage from the upgrades for the Vikings unique unit. Vikings down, Italians down. Wait, what? Oops. Portuguese down. Feels weird taking these off as the losing civilizations on the full water map. But it is what it is. That would be the Dravidians, Byzantines, and Bengalis, wasn't it? Just double checking. Dravidians, Byzantines, Bengalis, yeah. 2 maps to go, potentially. Combi gets to choose. Will they choose the open land map or hideout? If Colosseum, I think it has to be Magyar's pocket, because Burgundians would be great for hideout in the pocket position. Whereas for Damonville, Khmer strikes me as the hideout pocket, and then probably Hans for Colosseum, rather than Sicilians, which was a random pick since the time probably run out for them. Colosseum flanks, Koreans, Incas perhaps. Georgians will be a decent pocket as well. And as for Damonville, Ethiopians, Mongols flanks perhaps. Tatars last pick, probably not going to be seen. Just like that. It's time for game 4. It is hideout. Okay. Okay. Deer spawning outside for this one. Even the house to some extent. Otherwise, you'll go to hideout generation here. Palisade walls around your base. Standard resources, you get the cows, 6 cows, 2 boars, 3 deer. It's an interesting map because both feudal aggression and fast castle aggression is viable, depending on the spawn and your civilizations and what your matchups are. For the Lord Daniel, it is unsurprisingly the Burgundians in the pocket position here. Burgundians access to eco upgrades 1 age earlier and at a food discount. So, furthermore, they get access to Cavalier in the Castle Age, which means that it's easier for them to get to Paladin nice and early in the Imperial Age, which is also why they are lacking bloodlines. Otherwise, they would be properly OP. On the left side, we have the Poles for Santo and Bascardo. Poles have access to Arbalest. They have cheaper, with the unit technology, they have much cheaper Cavalry as well. Yeah, that's fine, Mats. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Need to have time to play everything as well. Also generate gold through stone mining. So men-at-arms towers with added archers, actually an option for the Poles. Red out quite early to scout here. It's obstructing the deer luring of blue from the Turks, which could delay any Turks castle drop shenanigans here, if that's the plan. Also to the left and to the right we have Georgians flank for Nova. I mean, if you are able to get to the Molaspa, the unique unit of the Georgians, you'll dominate a lot of different army compositions, but you don't really see them on flank that often. They don't really have any particular strengths as a flank civilization. They're not on the flanks. You usually see archer style plays, and even if you wanted to castle drop on flank as the Georgians, it's not really the most viable castle drop unit where you'd want a strong ranged or gunpowder units for maximum damage output. The Molaspa not really great in that regard, other than using that castle fortification to deny resource income, of course. Reaper as the Tatars on flank here. A very late pick for Dove, but yeah, maybe a bit of a throwaway pick then for hideout. Cavalry Archers, one of Tatar's strengths. Extra elevation bonus damage with Keshiks, also a strong cavalry unit, generating gold as they raid. Archers, Lion, and archery range. Instant slumbering for applying to both archers and cavalry archers as well. Makes Tatars strong with the crossbows in the castle age, even though they don't get arbalests to scale further on that. The Godfather in the pocket with the Huns, never needing to build any houses. 20% faster working stables as well. Has a team bonus. And cavalry archers at the 25% discount, which don't really expect to see here on hideout, but you never know. And finally we have Dega with the Turks on the other side flank here. That reeks of a castle drop, and Santos Bascardo just stays here with the hunt to disallow Dega to collect the resources. That's a not insignificant amount of villagers moving forward here with 18 population up for the red player. It is going to be a tower rush from the poles. I don't think it's even going to be supported by any infantry, just straight on with the towers. And since you are collecting gold, oh, that's only 3 on stone actually. You are collecting gold through stone mining. That is going to facilitate your eventual castle age and transition as well. You basically don't need to go to gold as you're tower rushing with the poles to be able to afford the castle age once you have the food for it. Here we go. Only villagers. That's not to say you can't add an archery range and archers at a later point though. It's a good old straight tower rush with a pretty quick 18 population up here for the poles. Very low economic approach. And it's only setting back the flank player, which means that if the Godfather gets an undisrupted straight fast castle age here, he'll just add some knights and clean up this rush, no problem. Stone walls for Dega to keep the aggression out here. Villagers find their way in. They don't really need to pound down the houses at all. They can just pass through. Something Santo and Moscato realizes. Second tower goes up within range of the first one, and it will deny the berries from the Turks, which, as you can tell, really sets back the food count here. Lots of interest in the queue though, so Dega was probably planning for a fast castle here. Not going to be allowed to do that. And use more villagers instead, and we'll seed farms and eat the remaining cow and whatnot to move the game on here. Damage has been done though. The Turks' fast castle age has certainly been obstructed. Now comes the archery range for the blacksmith for the poles. Suppose for a fletching research for more range and damage output of the towers. Oh, let's have a look at the other side. Men-at-Arms for Reaper. And in this case, not followed up by any archers, just straight Men-at-Arms. Or it's going to be followed up with archers, but not by towers. That's what I meant to say. One villager down for Nova already. Nova might not have Lou. Oh, Lou is in. Oh, they get through. They get through. Men-at-Arms get through. Move! Move! Oh, good reaction by Nova there. Took the opportunity to wall as Reaper had one moment of not looking at the screen. So, aggression on both sides flank here. While Dega is stabilizing. Struggling a little bit for the food count, perhaps. Yeah, only 3 farmers. Could risk running into some idle time here. No. Looks like it's okay. Dega obviously knows that this is a low economic approach by Santo and Moscardo as well. Has significantly higher idle TC time Santo and Moscardo, so it's a 5 builders lead for Dega over the red player so far this game. And Dark still getting some value against the Georgians here, cleaning up some archers. 2 eco kills so far for Reaper. Things considered though, even though Nova has lost a few villagers, I think he's recovered nicely. Reaper also has higher idle TC time from the what was probably a faster feudal age up here compared to the opponent, so it's not really getting enough value to compensate for the higher idle TC time we're seeing here. Tower's aggression, not really getting anywhere, but it is denying the stone, which means that Dega won't be able to drop any castle as the Turks in anytime soon. But still doesn't mean that Turks player could seed more farms and approach this with a faster Imperial Age approach instead. Now joined by some pocket cavalry. Why not go over here though, where there's palisade gates? Keeping the aggression out for now. It looks like they're moving on to obstruct the pocket a little bit here. No particular military from the Lord Daniel just yet. A couple of cavaliers out. Staying at home base for the time being. Just basically setting up for the economic boom here. Didn't get the second farm upgrade yet, but Bozo is in. Probably researched while on the way to the Castle Age. Santo and Moscardo with pulling the villagers back now, putting them back to work. Who actually realizes and flares the movement just in case there's any cavalry here to chase them, but that knight doesn't even have husbandry, so will not be able to catch up with them in time. Uh-oh. Dom now inside of the pocket space here for the Lord Daniel. How is he going to respond to this? Is queuing cavaliers, but is housed. And is scrambling up some panic houses here. Castle Age just kicked in for Dove though, and that means that Bodkin and Crossbow, if affordable, will kick in. Why not Crossbow? There's resources in the back for that for sure. Which means Lord Daniel needs to dive and diminish these archers' numbers ASAP, so that that crossbow upgrade can't. Get as much value for Reaper over here. 5 eco kills for Reaper total. Will lose the forward archer mass here, and has now made transition into cavalry archers already with Tatars. For added mobility, could play to either side with that kind of mobility. Looks like we have another game going into the late game stages though, because the economic differences are negligible and the military situation is just slightly ahead for Dove. Nothing too consequential. One knight made it in somehow. Probably once the gate completed. The knight made it in. Shouldn't be too much on the issue though. Santo and Mascaro not middle tree to deal with the ongoing push, so we're going to take some losses here until we can get those 1000 Trusap and might small wallings workers, yeah. Definitely getting lots of value from that one knight inside of the base here, the Godfather. Meanwhile, TC number 4 coming up for the yellow pocket player. They're dead even in villagers, but with 4 TCs to 3 or 4 TCs to 2 as it is currently, yellow should be gaining an economic advantage over the opponent. Looks like we finally have that Turk's castle drop coming. 650 stone in the bank for Dega. To be honest, it would have made more sense at this point to move all the way to the pocket, I think. But they can't really know what the... No! Oh, he's rebuilding it in the back. I thought he lost the stone. He didn't lose the stone. Just deleted the foundation and rebuilt it further away. It's going to be a race to the Imperial Age between red and blue now. To whoever can get to the traps first. Unless the castle gets denied by the cavalry of Kobe here. Is this a Dove Titanic over here? That's going to be quite a few villagers going down for Dega. And that castle stays unbuilt. Does it? One brave woman tried to complete this castle. No way they're going to let her get away with that. Yeah, here comes the tower. That should complete in time for before the villager can complete this castle, so... That castle won't complete. It's peculiar, but they got to try to commit to that with just that one villager, but it's taken so many losses already. It's probably the reason why. Cavalry archers now inside of Yellow's base together with knights. Idling some economy, but not really getting that many economic kills in. And there you can see the castle construction stops at 82%. Godfather joins in with some more military here, but with that tower near the castle foundation, you can just garrison that tower and deny any additional builders from completing it. Okay, so the Georgians' unique unit now joining the fights. Quite a few Balaspa here. Their attack gets boosted by nearby cavalry unit, not just Balaspa. I think it caps at 5 extra attack or some such. So quite a powerful unit in mass, but it needs large mass to really have that extra damage impact. 50 C4, the Lord Daniel, really booming away here to expand that economy for Combi. Dega wants this castle left, no matter what, and now it's going to complete, sending 7 more builders, 52 builders total only for the blue player. Combi 30 builders ahead almost at this point because of their boomy pockets with extra builders and the poles, multiple TC for work economy and whatnot. Finally, Janissaries in the making. Imperial Age also on the way for Dega. But it's quite... It's actually dead even with the red player, just a few seconds difference. Another one. Are we preparing for the Flemish Revolution here or what? 6,000 letters now for the Lord Daniel. Slot of religious coming in for the Poles player, so the Knights Cavaliers will now cost only, well, they will cost 60% less gold. Having 6,000 obviously allows you to replenish the villagers more easily as well, but it does delay your Imperial Age transition. Not that the Godfather has kicked Imperial Age yet either, but he somehow has more villagers, and obviously having had fewer DCs, only 3 total, he will be going up to the Imperial Age earlier than the opposing pocket. Speaking of Imperial Age, now it's in for both the Poles and the Turks. Trebuchets immediately queued, except one Janissary needs to complete for red first. Has the elevation advantage though. Something that can't be said about the Poles castle over here, so 3 or 4 traps on the hill there should make quick work of that castle, and Santo Emascarado barely with any stone to repair that castle, so... that defensive fortification won't last him long. Quintuple stables production to start soon enough for red player to keep up with the Hound's cavalry, and it's a double cavalry approach for Combi here, as they have both Poles, soon to be Cavalier, and Burgundians Cavaliers as well. Bombard cannon added. Pole Turks don't need to research any chemistry to get access to the bombard cannons, so they just pop them right out once they have the resource for it. Here, Godfather's base is being heavily raided by Onaspa, and just like that, the 100 villagers become 40, which will severely impact the Godfather's ability to produce any more cavalry units. Yes, 25 knights and 3 more in the queue, but look at the gold count and the food count and every resource count now for the Godfather. Add to that he only has 2 town centers to produce units from. But actually, we might actually be closing in on the GG just because of these Monaspa raids, because the Godfather has lost so much, and that's basically the most mobility of God's team lost as well. Not caught off guard by the Monaspa bases here, but as you diminish the Monaspa count, of course you do get better trades against them as well. Imperial Age just about to kick in for Nova, and it's halfway there for the Burgundians as well. That's really bad news for Godfather, now down to 48 villagers, has to rebuild on DC, and can't queue knights for a while due to overall lack of resources here. Oh, can we deny this castle? Massive raiding efforts from Combi here now. Lord Daniel finding his way into... well, it's the Godfather's base again, actually. So after Bonaspa go down, the Cavaliers come down, and once again they raid the Hans pocket to death. And then what's the Godfather supposed to do? Yes, at 44 villagers. Might be able to complete this castle, but it's been set back so extremely bad. It's going to be another 4 or 5 minutes until he can even click the Imperial Age, and behind that you'll need to create armies. Yes, there's still a sizable chunk of cavalry archers about that could reduce the economy of the Burgundians player, but look at the Paladin count or Cavalier count about to become Paladin. That's just going to increase from here on. Vegas also lost the forward castle, so the Turks will have limited impact on the game here. Cavaliers diving in to raid the Turks base if they can find a point of entry here. I think they found an opening, maybe. Yep. House Wolf not going to keep that Cavalier out, and they're trying to break through the weak spots over here. So there's one Cavalier on the inside that could actually deny this gate from completing. But now with the Janissaries returning, maybe they'll clean up the raids this time around. The Lord Daniel will be losing villagers here, but again, he does have 6,000 just to replenish villagers, so taking some losses now with this kind of food count in the bank isn't a disaster if you're able to clean up the Cavalry Archers mass that's deep inside of your base at this point. Hello, superhero! Let's go down one bill. Yeah, it's not looking great for them right now, is it? They are up 2-1, but at least they're giving us a 5th game. Winged Hussars for the Poles on Santa and Los Gatos, still trying to find an entry into Dega's base. The towers are doing some work as well. I suppose we could attack the market for maximum surface area to attack. The Janissaries going down as well, and there isn't any castle to replenish those numbers, so that leaves Dega with no military and 100 villagers. Not a situation you'll find yourself in. Right hand side, Reaper with the defensive castle to the side tries to wall off to keep any raids from entering from this angle, but the Monaspa have increased in number again. The Cavalry Archers, about half of them only at home base. The other group are over, keeping some of the Paladins at home, but the Lord Daniel completing a cast at just the perfect timing here, so the Heavy Cavalry Archers will reduce in numbers due to the castle fire as well. Losing that critical mass of Heavy Cavalry Archers is never a good sign for your game when you're in this position. We're still kind of matching the military numbers here, Dov, but they're falling behind in the economy because of the massive raids, and not to mention that they are one player down in the Castle Age as compared to Combi that have everyone in the Imperial Age at this point. Tatars and Huns are such a weird pick for hideout. Yeah, they picked some weird civs on both ends for the games here. But it is game number 4 out of 5, so their civilization choices are more limited. But Tatars was a really late pick. So Nova pushing together with the Paladins of Lord Daniel this side. Lord Daniel, like the good pocket is spreading out the armies on either side to help with raids, and it's only a matter of time until Combi breakthrough on Dob's side here. Yes, Turks player has gone into some camels, trying to make the best of it, but look at the gold access here. There's no gold access for Dega at this point. There's barely any resource access aside from wood, and that's not really going to allow you to make enough military to withstand this kind of push, with the armies ever increasing for Combi and Dob struggling with resources to keep making them. Godfather going to the Imperial Age, but doesn't really have any military size to scale well with the numbers on the field. Yeah, Daniel's fight this time is very failure at this stage. Well, he has had 6 TCs, so he has 6 TCs. So of course some of them would go idle. Good push on both sides from Combi now. Only 20 heavy cavalry archers left. Pikemen from the Tatars here. And look at the Tatars upgrades, just +1/+1 and no more defense upgrades after the feudal age. If any civ is going to go halves here, it shouldn't be the Tatars. Huns wouldn't be great either, and you're going to have to go... And you can't really go halves with the Turks, so... It's... These 3 picks for Dob to withstand heavy cavalry pressure, they're going to struggle so bad without access to good halberdiers. GG is called. Combi brings it up to a 2-2. And we will have the decider game on Colosseum. With a limited selection of civilizations left. Pulse in team games is so broken. Yeah, maybe. I have all the options not there, but they're still beatable, I hope. But that gold, stone to gold, instant gold from stone, that's maybe one of the strongest bonuses of the bolts. That and the folwark bonus combined is giving them really good advantages. Not really any competition of resources collected here. Just better economy overall for Combi. Super fast field age into a straight tower rush from the Poles did set back the Turks enough because the stone was forward. So Turks obviously planned to castle drop and make Janissaries, and that got perfectly obstructed by Santo and Moscardo for a long time. And the Burgundians got to boom away for free, so that is going to backfire as well. Good job of the flanks to buy that kind of time. Burgundians, Poles, Georgians winning that one. Tatars and Huns going down. On Hideout, which was lost by Downmobile, their last home map. Combi leaving the final home map for their last game. Yeah, faster reaction from the Turks there and just batter down the towers with builders would work. Even if it would meet some builder losses, but it would give you gold access at least. No stone access, at least. Colosseum, last map, has to be Magyar's pocket. Probably Koreans, Incas flanks, but who knows? Could be Bohemians as well with the faster or the instant mining upgrades. For Downbonville, Khmer pocket for Colosseum, probably. And this has to be the flank. I don't really see the timeout Sicilians random pick here being put into play for Colosseum, but let's see. 5th and final game. Let's go. Sick. Colosseum, final map. Slavin as the Ethiopians flank here. Faster fighting archers go to flank civilization for these open maps. Godfather with the Khmer in the pocket. Doesn't need any buildings to age up, so you could go straight for the stable for your scouts opening in the feudal age, which is probably going to be the case here. With the garrison in the houses, if you get raided home base, That's an underrated bonus for maps like these, where your wood source will be incredibly exposed. We see it time and time again on Colosseum that teams that recognize that you should move around the edge with, for example, archers and deny the wood lines are the winning teams, because wood is so precious to create your construction buildings and farms and everything. It's a core resource in the early game, and since you have to move out to the edges for the woodland access, if that gets denied, you're in a serious pickle. Irion, as the Mongols, past the collection of hunt. Nice, on elephant maps with 400 food on the elephants. And also pushing in the ostrich for a food boost. Going to be really quick. Probably like an 18 pop archers here for Irion. Since the Mongols have that kind of fast food. Fuel cock sieves would be good on this map, because then you could just relocate your lumberjacks without having to rebuild the lumber camp all the time. Cyclopstron as the Koreans here on flank for Kombi. Instant defense upgrades for the ranged units for Koreans. War wagons from the castles, if you ever get your castles up as well. Strong, ranged, kind of a cavalry unit. In the pocket we have the Lord Daniel as the Magyars. That's instant melee upgrades for the Magyars when you reach the next stage, which gives their scouts opening an advantage over basically all civilizations. And finally, Santo and Mascardo has the Incas to the side here. A bonus that the Incas bring to the team games is an instant llama, aka 100 food for each team member. So it really boosts their early game as well. Whoa, that's a far travel for the woodland. What's going on here? That's literally so much. Is this just an attempt to mind game your opponent into thinking you're taking wood somewhere else completely, so that they won't find you? You're literally collecting wood right next to your opponent. That's so far. Look at the worker efficiency of these villagers. They've been traveling halfway across the map to get to the woodland rather than just right down here, which will be a lot safer. That's really strange. Yeah, 17 pop fuel is even faster than I said. I said like 18 pop, but Mongols, they can do that. They have super fast food. Barracks just short of completing once you reach the fuel edge, so losing maybe 10 seconds to the archer's production there, but it's still super fast. Baguette style uptimes here, all over the place. On wood, but only one lumber camp, so it's not that as efficient as you'd want it to be. I suppose it's going to be ranged blacksmith now, just one range. Wait, he didn't even go to gold yet? There he goes to gold. Still got sheep to eat. What they're talking about flaring the woodlands like that. Like, well, why the hell would you settle over there? Why are you taking wood so close to your opponent, huh? But, look, Tila Scout still hasn't found the woodland, so it's working. Kinda. Mongols still able to afford the blacksmith, but both ranges going idle now, so it's a wood issue. I think more than a gold issue. And the blacksmith almost gets denied as well. It gets at least delayed, but here's the scout to clean up the orange scout. One more hit and we're down. Ooh, almost denies the range. Denies the range for a little while there. Great spot by Irion. Just dives right into it there. But, yeah, okay, we're on... Still only on single range production here. I mean, if you're going up that fast, maybe ranged blacksmith is a better approach and then add the second range later. Because, oh, never mind, it's actually been able to get fletching as well. Very aggressive opening from Irion here.
Yes.
Joined by the Godfather scouts now.
Yes.
Looks like the Binions buildings sort of forming a layer of walls for Santo Mascarado to the right. This trap, yeah. Godfather is kind of wasting the scouts now. Not sure if that's working into Dobb's favor here. Archer's production still only one range consistently producing here. Just 39% production efficiency for the other range. Definitely struggling a little bit with the macro here, Irion. Mouse issue saying that after the trap. Oh, I didn't catch that. Didn't even occur to me. Archer's still not getting that much value. Archer's fight on the right as well. Do they both have fletching? They do, but sometimes Mascarado has more numbers. And cleans up the Archer mass just like that, leaving Slevin with... Well, I mean, they're pretty much even in the Archer numbers, but... Still a better fight for Santo Mascarado, I think. Range in feudal for Irion here, really desperate to get those Archer numbers producing. And to be fair, it's producing out of both ranges now, so maybe that is the way to go. Skirmishes added by Cyclops Tron. As long as this, as long as the Green Scouts don't meddle in, that should be fine. Yeah, the Godfather is losing scouts left and right. It's not really conserving the numbers as well as could have been here, and that's giving Combi a numbers advantage already. The economy is still level. A little bit because of the idle time of Santo and Mascarado behind this. There haven't been any eco kills at all this game. Not yet. They've only been trading RBs, and that's been into the favor of Combi for now. Iron opts for a tower on the gold, which makes perfect sense. You need to keep the archers away. Better safe than sorry, but that also means that he won't be able to afford a defensive tower on the wood. So this is the time for Cyclops Tron's archers to shine on Irion's woodline, because they can't defend themselves with a tower. Because there's not even a market here for Irion to buy stone for another tower. Let's see if they go for the woodline now. Do they know where the woodline is? They don't know yet, but they know that it has to be over here. And you see that every time. Once you force the tower on the gold, you move on to the woodline. Because they can't tower the woodline after placing it on the gold. So on this match, maybe the meta needs to be tower the woodline and let the gold go. I don't know. Scouts are here though. Godfather, double stable scout production here, doesn't need the barracks as the Mermaid made one anyway, just for defensive purposes. Archers not really getting the value you'd want them to here because of the scouts. No upgrades even on them yet, but they have numbers enough to clean up the ranged units of Cyclops Tron, so crisis averted, I guess. Because you can wall with levitt gates and walls. No, but you can't wall out archers though, and especially not crossbows when you enter the castle age. So I disagree on that. Put your guys to work, man. Lots of scouts on the field for the Godfather. Will it work out for Dove though? They're playing a really extended feudal age here, while Combi has 2 players on the way to the castle age already, most notably the Magyar's Pocket, who will be pumping out scouts soon enough. He hasn't really had the economy contested all that much either, so shouldn't have any huge issues pumping out some knights nice and early. Make a tower on the goal and you know where to catch the archers. Fair point as well. You know they're gonna go for the woodline next. Right, Castle Age right around the corner for the Incas. Oh, even the Orcish play Cyclops on entering the Castle Age as well. Could even be that Santo and Masardo is able to get to the crossbow bodkin for the remaining archers before losing them. No defense upgrade for the Godfather, otherwise the villagers would be... Wait, never mind. I was looking at yellow. Yellow had defense on the scouts, so it's harder for villagers to batter them down. Yeah, both teams attempting team balls, but it's a little bit less ambitious for Combi down south. Still need to deal with some stray scouts, but the Godfather has yet to click up, whereas the yellow player with the Magyars is getting the +2 defense and will have fully upgraded knights 2 minutes before the Godfather can even get to the castle age. There we go. A GG well played is called. Dove realized this is game over. Took too many early losses, and yeah, with the last player just about to reach castle age as well. Combi take a deserved 3-2 for the last game. It was their home map after all, so their plans just worked out better. Arguably, as the game goes on, these civilizations would scale better as well, as the Magyars have fully upgraded paladins, whereas the Quer don't, so they would need to go into battle elephants. Koreas and Icans also fully upgraded arbalests. So, yeah. Well played, but not quite for Dove. Good set though, quite even. I can show the map draft soon, just wanna browse through the statistics. Just to have that shown. Super fast at times, so especially the Mongols, 16 pop there. A little bit too ambitious, perhaps. Low eco. One range blacksmith would maybe have been better in this case. Could get a relatively fast fletching and get some early value on the woodlines or the golds or whatever you decide. Maybe push the gold, force a tower, move to the woodline, and really set Cyclops Tron back that way. Yeah, more food eco, always crazy. Did make a lot of scouts, so of course had a lot of food income as well. Incas, Magyars, were Koreans winning against Mongols, Ethiopians first 2 picks, and Khmer. And this is what the map draft looked like, so Kumbi winning their second home map in the end. That'll be it for this one. Still have 3 divisions left to cast. I have no idea how I'm going to squeeze that in, especially before any patches or hotfixes break the Rex, but I'll do my best. We'll try to squeeze them in sometime this week, but I'll be traveling again, so it's always difficult.